Hello beautiful people, my name is Bridget and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is very exciting. It's another edition of makeup that I love, but things I would change about it. So I've done these a few times in the past. These are things that I absolutely love, like great products, but things I would change about them to make them slightly better. I think this is the fourth one I'm doing, and I've tried not to repeat anything that I've said, just thinking about what I filmed. But if any of these are repeats, maybe the problem just really bothers me, but I've tried to use like new things that bother me slightly about products that I love. So without any further ado, let's go get to today's video. Alright guys, before we get started, today's video is sponsored by TATTIST. Now it is no secret to anyone that I love tattoos. I have a sleeve, it's great, and I have a couple other tattoos. I love tattoos. But TATTIST is a temporary tattoo company, and I think it's great for multiple reasons. So let me tell you a little about TATTIST and why I think they're very important to like help support as a brand. They're trying to publicize the South Korean tattoo scene, and in South Korea it's illegal to tattoo. They're not seen as artists. Like here you have a tattoo artist. It's not seen as an art form in South Korea, which is crazy to me. It's 2020 and tattoos are beautiful. But yeah, TATTIST does that, and they also have amazing tattoos. So I think temporary tattoos are great for anyone going for a night out who doesn't have any real tattoos, just trying to like get the aesthetic maybe. Or if you're thinking about getting a tattoo, you can put a temporary one there, see if you like the placement. Or if you have a bunch of tattoos like myself and you have like a spot you need filled in, you can put it there and get like a rough estimate of the size or what kind of style would fit in with your existing tattoos. Not only are their designs beautiful, some even include glitter, which is really cool. They are also waterproof, and you can use my code to save 20%, so you might as well act now and let's check out their website because I'm sure they have something you would love. So they're really easy to apply. You get a ton of different options. The styles in these are so beautiful. The work on these, just go on their website, look at the artwork, it's beautiful. So thank you TATTIST for sponsoring today's video. Please check them out at the top of the description box, and let's get started with the rest of the video. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get started. I don't have any particular order I'm going to do these things. Let's start off with this new thing which I just reviewed, and it is the Tarte Glow Wand. I did a dedicated video on this, trying it out for the first time. One thing that irritated me was I did think it was a standalone product, but it's not. But knowing that, the thing that irritates me about this is this sponge in here. Now typically, I mean obviously I haven't used a sponge, I wouldn't use the sponge, but I was thinking about using it this morning, and I noticed this is just super easy to pull out. Like if I was to like put this on my face and turn and blend it, it just falls right out. Like it's so easy to remove, and I just feel like it needs to be a little tighter in there to help hold it in there if you're meant to like blend your under eyes with this. So I don't like that. I'm not a big fan of the sponge in general, but it is a very nice product anyway. So I do like the product, but this is just not, it needs to be a tighter suction around the sponge if you're going to have this in there. While we're talking about Tarte Shape Tape products, the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, my baby, my pride and joy, like my life. I love this concealer. I use it every single day in some aspect. It's always disgusting. You can do, I've gone through probably like 8 of these, right? It's always gross. This outside is yucky, chunky, gucky. No matter what you do, every single person who has this that I've seen has theirs all yucky when you open it. Like nothing's affected when it's closed. But this inner section gets gross and you can't do anything about it. All of them get like this. It's not just a one-time issue. All of them get gunky yunky. I don't see anyone else talking about this issue, but it bothers the crap out of me because I like my makeup clean. So this is not clean, but it is cute and it's a great quality high coverage concealer. So I love the concealer, but that irritates me every time I open it. Next up is something that I might have mentioned, and it is the Dose of Colors liquid lipsticks, which I love. Okay, the formula, fantastic. I keep buying more of these. This is Nude Mood. It came in a boxy charm. So this is what the wand looks like. Let me wipe the product off in here so maybe you can see. This is not a very good example of one, but it's a very fluffy applicator. So the applicator has tons of little fuzzies on it, and it's really hard to get a nice crispy lip line with this liquid lipstick. I feel like you always get like a spot, you can see like fuzzy stuck and did something weird about it. So it needs to be a cleaner applicator, like a regular doe food that doesn't have so many fuzzies on it, because it's really hard to get a nice crispy lip line. I go in with a separate lip wand. I will just open this up, take my other lip wand in here and apply it to my lips, because that's the only way I can get a precise lip line with these. It's really irritating because I can't use the brush that's in here, but the formula is great, so I still use these, but I have to use a separate lip wand, which sucks. Next up, I also might have mentioned this, so let me get these 2 things I think I might have mentioned. There's 3 I might have mentioned, I don't know, out of the way, but maybe you're new to my channel so you haven't seen this at all. Makiage foundation. I'm in the shade 010. It is a beautiful foundation. It's not for everyone. People either love it or you hate it. It's one of those products. I personally love it. It's a beautiful full coverage concealer. Foundation. Why did I say concealer? But this cap issue. So I had original bottle of this and I gave it to a friend which had the big cap issue. So this one doesn't do it, which is great, or does it do it? I don't think this one does it. I don't have an issue with this new one. But I've had it before where you can't get to this. So it looks like this is how you open it up and you apply it. It's not. There's a pump. But there's an inner cap inside this cap. We can see there's an inner cap inside this cap. And it falls out all the time. Like, not in this one. I got a good one this time, but the cap falls out. And you think you opened it up, you pull the cap off, there's still a cap on top, and it's really irritating. So, bad packaging on this. All around. I think the heavy frosted glass looks fancy too, but you'd never be able to get the last bit out of this container. So I don't know, but it's a great foundation. The last thing that I might have mentioned before, Jeffree Star Cosmetics Setting Powder. It's a good setting powder. Very finely milled, a lot flies up in the air. The sifter thing is garbage. I hate it. I really don't like it at all. And the scent is overwhelming. Like, at first I was kind of like, oh, it has a good sweet smell to it. Now every time I open it, it is really strong. I don't know if it got worse, or maybe I'm just more sensitive to it, because I really used to like the First Aid Beauty Coconut Primer too. It smelled so good, and now it's a little bit much for me. This is very fragranced, and I feel like a lot of people are sensitive to fragrance, so I'm not sure it's great for that. It also doesn't smell like cotton candy like it's supposed to, but it smells very, very sweet, like candy. So I don't like the sifter or the smell of the Jeffree Star setting powder, but the powder itself is good. Maybe I could put it in a different container, but I don't want the Jeffree Star container. I don't know. Next up is something I used today. So if you can tell, my skin, like even like on my forehead, on my chin, there's no highlighter on my forehead or my chin or on my nose. There's highlighter on my cheeks, obviously. My skin all around looks pretty dewy, like all over my forehead and everything. And that's because I use this underneath. So it is quiet. It is the Gerard Cosmetics BB Plus Illumination in the shade Grace, which is the lightest one. So I took this with a brush, like a skincare brush, and applied it all over my face. The thing is, it's very hard to get it to pump because it's not like all the way full, which I don't care because I don't need a ton of it. But I just feel like I have to squeeze this, and sometimes I have to bend it a little bit like this. I'll bend it like this to get the pump really going. But yeah, and it kind of came this like halfway empty and stuff, which again I don't mind. Maybe the package should be a little bit smaller because I feel like I have to find myself bending it like this and then pumping it. But I do absolutely love how it gives myself like a nice dewy glow, and even though I'm wearing like a nice Too Faced foundation over it, you can still see it shining through without looking oily or greasy throughout the day. It really does stay like on your skin and doesn't build up on oils. So I love it. It's great. And I used it as my primer today and it looks fantastic. But I do have to like fight with the tube a little bit to get it coming out. Alrighty, next up is the Soul Body Highlighter in Platinum. I showed this off in a recent like haul. I did an unboxing of the AIA Beauty Bundle, and I also did my Colourpop haul, and this was in there, and it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful, but it's like, these are a little bit hard to open. The Super Shock one is too. Like, there's no like opening area for it. You gotta like push it with your nail. But it's kind of it's like a highlighter topper. It's for your face and body. That's why it's so big and you get such a big amount. But I find that it swatches really beautiful. Like when I swatched, I was like, oh, she's stunning and she's beautiful. And I put it on top of my highlighter in that video and it looks so pretty. And it looks really nice like this, but applied with a brush, it's a highlighter topper. There's not too much. I used it today on top of a liquidy highlighter that I set with powder then. And there's just not much pigment to it. There's nice glitter in here. There's a nice glitter highlight effect to it, but there's no base pigment to this product. So I'm getting like a little bit of like a gold glitteriness, shimmeriness to it, but there's no like base pigment to say like a good Jeffree Star, a good Ofra highlight. So that is a little irritating. It is more like a highlighter topper to me. If I put down a liquid highlight first, it'd be great on top of that like today, but on its own, it's not blinding enough. I feel like it's just a little bit hard pan. Like, it feels soft. It feels very soft. But like Smoky Glow said, it is very hard. It's pressed very hard in here. So if it was a little bit less pressed down, it'd probably be a lot better. But right now, I'm not getting any base pigment. While I'm griping about highlighters, let's talk about Ofra. I love the Ofra highlighters. My favorite highlighter of all time is Ofra's Pillow Talk. But I must say that Ofra's highlighter formula is too soft. Kisses? It's too soft because they break a lot. Like, I've had so many in the mail, probably like 5 in the mail, come broken because they're so fragile. Like, they're soft and they're beautiful. Either they need to ship them better where they're packaged safer so they don't break all the time. Because I've never broken one myself. I own a bunch of them, and I don't own a bunch of them. I own 3 now, I think. I have 3. I've had a bunch over the years, and I just decluttered them. I always have to repress like half of them. Like half the highlighters I get from Ofra I have to repress. So this is Snuggle Up Duo. The highlighter broke and I had to repress it, and it looks gross. And I just had a lot that just come broken, and it's really sad because they're beautiful highlighters. Like, again, Ofra's Pillow Talk, the Snuggle Up Duo, Glazed Donut are just so lovely, but they just don't look pretty when I have to repress half of them that I get. So very disappointing on that aspect. Just pack them safer. I don't want you to press them harder like the Soul Body one is too hard. I don't want you to press them harder. I love the formula. They just need to be packed safer. So I feel like that's more of a Ofra issue than a product issue. Next up is the Juno & Co. Moonshine Cream. I have praised this so much, and I stand by everything I said. It is stunning. I love this. It's the best moisturizer. And the packaging's lovely, but it's a lot of packaging. Like, this is a lot of packaging, a lot of clear on the outside and everything. So it's kind of big and bulky, especially for a moisturizer. And then I had to like put my nail across the middle of it and see how much was left in here because it's very white and the inside of the packaging is very white, so I can't really tell like how far I have left in there till I hit the bottom. It's just one of those things, and it doesn't even like go all the way to the bottom of this down here. It kind of stops where somewhere in the middle here, so I can't really tell exactly how much product I have left in here, and the packaging is very big and bulky, so I do complain about that. But I too love the moisturizer. Kind of wish it came in like a tube though. Like, it'd be great if it came in a tube. Next up, I know I've talked about this in other videos, but I don't think I talked about it in one of these type of videos. The Glamlite Pizza lash packaging. These are my favorite lashes of all time, but it's such a waste of packaging. Because you get this huge box for some little lashes. It's such a waste of freaking packaging. It's so wasteful. But these lashes are my favorite. These are called Deep Dish. They're so pretty. Oh my god, I lost one. Get back in here. They're so pretty, but it definitely doesn't need this giant case for it. And it's very hard to store the rest of my lashes too. Like, I have to set it on top of my lash drawer. It's in the way. While we're talking about Glamlight, the Glamlight Pizza palettes, I know these are weird and awkward to store, and I'm not even going to bring up. I'm going to bring up the fact that I can't lay it down. It's too tall. If you want to make a big pizza, maybe like get rid of all the space in between and just tug them together and not have names on them, just so it's not so freaking tall that no matter, I can't set it in any drawer, it just hits everything. So I have to lay these in the other drawer away from the rest of my palettes because they're just too tall this way. Like, if I could lay this flat, because the triangle is an awkward shape, it's just too bulky, I guess. I am complaining about the packaging again, but that's what this video is here for. Petty complaints about products I still use and like. Lastly, this is the Lovebird palette from Colourpop. I love Colourpop, right? But this palette was wasted in the fact that a third of it is pressed glitters. This was like an Ulta exclusive palette. I love there's a super shock shadow in here. Like a super cute, wet, ooey gooey, super shock pink shadow in here. I think that's, well, you can't even see it. It's just like a glitter. It's super pretty to have a super shock shadow on a palette. I love that. But a third of this palette, this whole middle row, is pressed glitters. And I feel like so many of us gripe and complain about pressed glitters. They need to stop being in everything. Or if Colourpop's going to keep doing glitters so much, make them biodegradable so I don't feel as guilty about using them. But that's this. I thought it looked really, really pretty, but on the pictures online you could only tell it looked like these two were glitters, and you couldn't really tell this one was too. So yeah, it's a little irritating that a third of this palette is glitters, but again, it's not a staple palette anyone really needs, so I guess I could excuse that technically because you don't have to buy it. Anyways, you guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Orion did, because he won't stop jumping on everything. He won't stop jumping on everything. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I would love to know a product that you love, but you have a gripe with down below. I feel like it's super fun. Like, I do love these things, right? but you get to complain about it once in a while. Like, you're spending your hard-earned money on it. You get to gripe a little bit. So I would love to know what you think needs improvement on a product down below. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're not subscribed already, I would love if you did that, and I'll see you later.